Check, check. My mic on? I don't think my mic's on. Check, check. Huh, it is on. Well, I guess we're going to introduce ourselves today. My name is Susan. Nice to meet you. I'm Susan, and this is Jack, and most people will ask, are you two married? And I'll first say, why, what did he do? Yes, we are. And we might need your prayers because we have 2 teenagers. We have a 19-year-old daughter named Opal, who's away at college in Madison. And we have a 16-year-old son named Flynn, who just got his temps today. See what I mean? Anyway, we're Frogwater, and we're so delighted to be with you today. Special thanks to Marilyn for reaching out to us and asking us to come, because we always enjoy coming back up to West Bend whenever we can. We're going to start things off with a little old southern fiddle tune called Grasshopper Sitting on a Sweet Potato Vine.
Is it okay that I wear my hat in here? Okay. I don't mean any disrespect, but it's a comfort thing.
Thank you so much. Well, we I don't think we will be doing that one tonight, but for some reason we're playing a couple of dances this weekend. Usually it's one every once in a blue moon, but last night we were blessed to play a contra dance on the east side of Milwaukee. It's kind of like square dancing. And tonight we're playing an Irish ceilidh dance at the Celtic Milwaukee Center. So that tune that you just heard would have been more akin to what dancing we played last night. Tonight we'll be playing more Irish tunes. But at this very moment, we'd like to transport you back in time to the golden days of radio. I'm sure some of you can remember the days when there were no reruns, there was no streaming or internet, and if there was a program you wanted to hear and use your imagination, you better be in the hot seat on Saturday or Friday night if you wanted to catch it, because if you weren't there, you'd miss it. My mom's favorite show growing up was The Lone Ranger. She really, really loved that. And this song comes to you from the old Chicago barn dance. There was a couple that were regular performers on there named Lulu Bell and Scotty. And one day we were performing at a memory care unit on the east side of Milwaukee, and a gentleman said, "Did you know that the Chicago barn dance predated the Grand Ole Opry?" And I thought that was a really interesting thing right here in the Midwest. So that was pretty neat. But we cart this song around with us wherever we go. We love it so much. We learned it for a friend's wedding many, many years ago and have done it ever since. It's called All About You. That every single word that you say is worthwhile. I told them all about you. I told the moon and all the stars that shine above about the way you roll your pretty eyes and how you love every honeybee knows it's gonna be honeymooning for two. Yes, I told them all about you. Your pretty eyes and how you love every honeybee knows it's gonna be honeymooning for two. Yes, I told them all about you. I've told the whippoorwills just how pretty you smile. Yes, I told them all about you. I told every little bird that every single word that you say is worthwhile. Yes, I told them all about you. I told the moon and all the stars that shine above by the way you roll your pretty eyes and how you love every honeybee knows it's gonna be honeymooning for two. All about you. Well, every honeybee knows it's gonna be honeymooning for two. Yes, I told them all about you. Thank you. you, thank you. All
It's a tune
right.
called the Beaumont Rag.
All right. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, you all win the prize. Nobody made a peep down during that 8-count bit of silence. Everybody's usually like, oh, you're on it. That's good, that's good. Well, we've been carting that tune around with us since last spring. Who knew that the Kentucky Derby was such a big deal this far north? And we were hired to play 2 parties for the Derby on Derby Day, which also happened to be International Star Wars Day. It was May the 4th. You know, May the 4th be with you. Yeah, it's a good one. But we were playing the Derby Day down at the St. Kate Arts Hotel downtown Milwaukee, and then we played up further north in the North Shore. And what a great day. Everybody was just out in fine form. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is Wisconsin. Any chance to, have a few drinks and have a party? We'll party anything. It's all good. It's great. But it was a lot of fun. They were having contests for, best dressed, best hat, of course. And one of our Frogwater family members, her name was Jo O'Hearn. We lost her this last year. It was really sad to lose such a dear friend. But she was about, this tall, kind of a leprechaun, She came out, she was wearing her Frogwater t-shirt, and one of the gals with the big hats put her hat on her, and she said, I felt like I looked like a lamp. But she was one of those people, she'd get out and dance. She'd come in with her little walker, and pretty soon the walker would be cast aside and she'd be cutting a rug out there on the floor. And everybody at first is like, isn't Granny cute? And after a beer or so, people would be like, she looks like she's having fun. I think I want to do that. So she'd get people out on the dance floor. So much fun and so kind. But anyways, we'll always miss her. She was a hoot. I mean, you can't help but talk about her and laugh, smile. So, I mean, we should all be blessed if we have a legacy like that, right? Anyway, what are you thinking next?
We do the polite chicks, maybe.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we dubbed these, I don't even remember what these are all called anymore, because we just call this set the polite jigs. This is a set of Irish jigs. And in here somewhere is the cowboy jig, right? It's toward the beginning. There's one, oh goodness, this one has a story behind it. There's one in the middle, the second one. That's the second one. The second one we know is called the cowboy jig. The first one I can't remember. And the third one we just call the Carson jig, because many years ago, before I even knew this guy, I went with our old band that he eventually joined, the Gillies. We went to a first ever folk festival in Salt Lake City. And we were the band for 23 preteen and teen Irish dancers from Trinity Irish Dance Academy from Chicago and Milwaukee. 23 of them. And this was the first ever folk festival of its kind in Salt Lake City, and it was a whole lot of fun. But we had to know, note by note, a whole routine that these young ladies did on the Johnny Carson show, on the Tonight Show. And so this jig that we never knew the title of, it was in that set. We just call it the Carson jig because it's in that set. And then I think the last jig is called Tie the Petticoat Tighter. Is that it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Or the Irish version of Spanx. Yeah. Anyway, Tie the Petticoat Tighter. So a whole bunch of jigs. We might be doing these tonight. That would be good. Are you in tune? All right. Thank you, thank you. One of the tales that I was thinking a lot about recently, and I've been reflecting on it, from that trip to Salt Lake City many years ago, was the fact that we were put up by a very kind Episcopal minister, our little Irish band, the four of us. We had a married couple and me and another gentleman. He was just another musician. And they put us up in the classrooms of the school that was attached to the church. It was summertime, so all the kids were home for summer break. So we slept on the floors of the classrooms of the Episcopal Church school. And I don't know if you know any people in Irish bands, but this particular church was in a dry county. So the minister was so kind. He would loan us his vintage BMW to drive over the county line to get some beer for the night. And we would be in the kitchen hanging out and talking and stuff like that. But I don't know if you've seen many Irish dancers, but they have those big wigs nowadays and all the glitter. Times were much simpler in some ways back then. There were no wigs. You just had your hair. So every night before a performance, you had to set the hair on foam rollers. So here were four Irish musicians with their beers, setting 23 young girls' hair every night of the festival. It was pretty charming. I might have pictures of that somewhere. But I was just a kid myself, so what memories? What would you like to do now?
Well, I'll try to sing another one.
Green, green.
Green, green. This is sort of a country blues song, so to speak. Comes from a great player who actually was out of the Greenwich Village folk scene, Dave Van Ronk. Won't do this song, but it's called The Green Rocky Road. I go, come on, ain't no carpet on the floor, come along and go with me, we'll go down to Galilee. On
Green, green, rocky road, promenade and green.
Well,
Tell me who do you love?
Tell me who do you love?
Rocky road, promenade and green. Well, tell me who do you love?
Tell me who do you love? Well, little Miss Jane, let's do the walk. Don't you stumble and don't you fall. Don't you sing, don't you shout. When I sing, you come run now.
On green, green, rocky road, promenade and green.
Well,
Tell me who do you love?
Tell me who do you love?
On green, green, rocky road, promenade and green.
Well,
Tell me who do you love?
Tell me
Who do you love? Well, you see that crow up in the sky? He don't walk, he just fly. He don't walk, and he don't run. Just keep on flapping to the sun. On green, green, rocky road, promenade and green. But tell me, who do you love? Who do you love?
Give me that love.
On green, green, rocky road, promenade and green.
Well,
Tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Lay it on me.
well,
Hookah, dooka, soda cracker. Does your mama chew tobacco? If your mama chews tobacco, hookah, dooka, soda cracker. On a green, green, rocky road, promenade and green. Oh, tell me, who do you love? Who do you love?
Holland
Green, green, rocky road, promenade and green. Tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Well, when I go to Baltimore, there ain't no carpet on the floor. Come along and go with me. We'll go down the Galilee. Highland green, green, rocky road, promenade and green. Well, tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Tell me, who do you love, child? Who do you love? Tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Thank you very much. Oh, this is a set of tunes we might be playing tonight. This is fun. These are really, they're very, very old. We play a lot of cover tunes. They're just hundreds of years old. So nothing to worry about with ASCAP or BMI or stuff like that. But these were, I believe, brought to this country by a very wonderful fiddler from County Sligo, Ireland, named Michael Coleman. He's revered to this day, and this set of tunes is still played in the order he recorded them in 1934. Okay, 1934 for Decca Records. This was a thing. Anyway, these are in order. The Tarbolton, I'm not quite sure what that is. And then there is the Longford Collector. We don't know who Longford was or what they collected. And the last one is the biggest mystery of all, because it's very exciting. And it's simply titled, The Sailor's Bonnet. Thanks very much. See what I mean about that last one? The sailor's bonnet? Really? Could it not be called maybe riding my racehorse on the beach at sunset really fast? Or driving in my Ferrari on the Pacific Coast Highway? Or no, it's called the sailor's bonnet. You see the conundrum. Okay. It's very exciting. So I suppose I should broach the subject of our name, because if I don't, I'll be asked quite a few times when we're done, how did you get your name? So it's best to answer that question right away. And we were talking about it last night, which was kind of funny at the contra dance. Our name Frogwater comes from the fact that many, many years ago, in the early 90s, I used to work at a place in the Grand Avenue called the Puzzle Box. It was a wonderful store. And at the holiday time, they needed extra workers. So I loved it there. Everybody turned into kids when they came in. There were puzzles and games and plush stuffed toys and great things. My little brothers had the best Christmas ever. And I figured, seeing as I was an employee and I was entitled to an employee discount, I would get myself something. So I was curious about this box on the shelf called Grow a Frog. I bought it, got it home, opened it up, and it was a little clear box with a lid. You opened it, and inside was a postcard. And you mailed off your postcard, and they would send you a tadpole, a real live tadpole. It came with the caveat to be careful if you lived in the Midwest states in the winter. If you had an outdoor mailbox, your tadpole could freeze to death before you came home. So I waited till the spring and I got my tadpole, put him in the water, went to the pet store. He looked very lonely and weird. And the pet store said, you shouldn't be using tap water. You should get this special chemical that takes out the fluoride and the chlorine and all that. And I kept him in there and fed him little pellets. He looked lonely. So I went to the pet store and asked them about it. And they said, oh, that's an African clawed frog. I thought it looked funny, because our tadpoles here in North America are pretty cute, right? This tadpole's kind of funny looking. And as he grew, it would just sit in the water like this until you'd feed it, and then it would go yum, 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 with its little clawed fingers. Really weird. And they're completely aquatic. They do not get out. You don't touch them or play them with them, like our frogs.
They're not very cute.
They're kind of homely. Our frogs are cute. I like our frogs. Anyway, needless to say, my frog was lonely, so I got it another frog. And the more frogs you get, and other fish, to make it look interesting, you have to change the water because it gets kind of gross. And then you have to buy a filter. All this money. So I was using old milk jugs that I had rinsed out and pre-filling them for when I had to clean the stinky tank. And I labeled it Frogwater so my roommates wouldn't dump it out. See? And this guy came over to practice one day and he said, oh, can I see your frogs? And I said, yeah, they're in there, He goes there and he says, oh, look at all that frog water. I thought that was really funny. So when our band at the time broke up and we started a new one, there was the question of what shall we call ourselves? And I said, oh, Frogwater. And they're like, that's really dumb.
Yeah, I thought that was not a great idea, but...
And I said, fine, come up with something better. Needless to say, that never happened.
So here we are.
And so last night, we met a guy at the dance who had an African clawed frog from a Grow a Frog kit. The first person I've ever met. And I said, did you know that there is one left at American Science and Surplus on Oklahoma Avenue in Milwaukee? If you ever come into Milwaukee, it's worth a trip just for American Science and Surplus. It's super fun. There used to be two, but one died. But this gentleman told us last night his lived for 20 years. Mine didn't.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. They're weird. Anyway.
He said it tried to escape once it got out, and then it was like on the sliding door, and it was drying up, and he had to kind of peel it off and rehydrate it, but kept going.
Yep. There you go. So anyway.
Slow it down a little bit. Let Susan sing you this beautiful song.
We learned this for a friend's wedding last fall, and we've been carrying it around with us ever since because we love it so much. And it was written by Kate Wolf, who left us far too soon. What a wonderful talent. What a great writer. Anyway, it's typically sung at weddings, but I just think that my usual thing that I say every time, if we had a little more love in the world, we wouldn't be in half the pickles we're in. Anyway, it's called Give Yourself to Love. Kind friends all gather round. There's something I would say, that what brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you are ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. You must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter, and yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Thank you very much. Here's a little flashback summertime favorite called Windy and Warm. Thank you very much. A little tune written by J.D. Loudermilk, and that's been a consistent favorite of fingerpickers like, let's see, Chet Atkins, Doc Watson. That's really fun to play that one. We tend to kind of go out a little bit. We can only get so far from our system, otherwise the signal will stop. It's not you guys, but we can only go so far. But sometimes we have a monthly gig that we do in Bayview in Milwaukee at a place called the Sugar Maple. It's a craft beer bar. They do more than beer, but it's a lovely place, a great community. And we'll do that one. Sometimes we'll kind of do the bunny hop through the place, it's kind of fun. You gonna play some banjo today? Or is the banjo gonna go home crying? We're at 8 minutes till. So, the nice thing about playing, one of the many nice things about playing for new audiences, is you haven't been subjected to my jokes yet. They're all fresh and new to you. But because he's a pretty big multi-instrumentalist, I began collecting stories and jokes and stuff like that, because I had some downtime between songs and tunes. You don't want to bore people. You want to keep it fresh. So people would send me jokes, and honestly, 9 out of 10 times, I've heard it. But do try us if you want to send us anything. We're on Facebook. That's about it right now. We lost our website. And during the pandemic, Facebook was really our lifeline. Because we live in the same household, we can continue playing music together for people, and as we learned, all over the world. We had people tuning in from the East Coast, the West Coast, Scotland, weighing in, and we just left all those performances up on our Frogwater page. So if you ever miss us and want to see what we used to do, and you see our house and our children when they used to think we were cool, and our pets all make appearances on there. It's on Frogwater on Facebook. But and we don't have much merchandise these days because people are phasing out CDs. Some new cars don't even have CD players in them, which is really weird. We have a couple CDs left from our mandolin ensemble. It's kind of an offshoot of the Milwaukee Mandolin Ensemble, which I'll proudly tell you is the longest continually playing mandolin orchestra in the world, right in Milwaukee. They've been playing ever since 1900. And they're really, really tired. Really tired. But this recording here is an offshoot called New Vintage Frets. And a small group of us. And we played tunes and songs that have ties to Milwaukee and to Wisconsin. And it's some wonderful work. But that's the only CD we have with us. We have T-shirts and stickers. Our stickers are going all around the world. We've got one on the back of a sign at the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. We've got one on St. James Gate. You've probably heard of that location. I think there's one in Montana and various other places. So if you do get a sticker, send us a picture where you're sending it, where you're putting it. Oh, the Eiffel Tower? Yes, shh. And we're not party to any sort of graffiti. This is not our idea. So anyway. So he's got the banjo on. See, I talked and killed a lot of time. Yes, please.
All right, kind of a cute song about a big old gal.
Yeah.
Well, y'all see Melinda, fairest in the land. Her nose is like an Easter egg and her feet are like a ham. 6 foot and over, hair's beautiful red. Gotta stand up on a chair if you want to scratch your head. Oh, don't you cry, Melinda, don't you cry for me. I'm going way to sea, way back in Tennessee. I'll be back some old day when the corn is in the ear. Come home, yo, man, you Melinda, dear. Well, forget, she came and sat on my lap and gave me quite a threat. Whispered soft, sweet, you are a handsome chap. She broke my new suspenders when she sat upon my lap. Oh,
Don't you cry, Melinda, don't you cry for me.
I'm going away to see you way back in Tennessee. I'll be back some old day when the corn is in the ear. Call upon your banjo, if you Melinda, dear, it's Claude. Well, if I was an elephant, oh, how happy I would be. I'd lock Linda in my trunk and throw away the key. If I was an alligator, go out for a swim, open up those alligators and shoot Linda. Oh,
Don't you cry, Melinda, don't you cry for me.
I'm going away to see you
Way back in Tennessee,
I'll be back some old day
when the corn is in the ear.
Call upon your banjo,
You, Melinda, dear.
Well, you ought to see Melinda, fairest in the land. Her nose is like an Easter egg and feeling like a ham. 6 foot and over, hair's beautiful red. Gotta stand up on a chair if you want to scratch your head. Oh,
Don't you cry, Melinda, don't you cry for me.
I'm going away to see you.
Way back in Tennessee,
I'll be back some
when the corn is in the ear.
Call upon your banjo. Said
I paw the old banjo for you, Melinda, dear. So one of the times our kids actually proved to us that they were listening to some of the stuff we did. Our son, I think it was, said, "Why would someone put corn in their ear?" We laughed. We had to explain that that was a developmental stage of corn. You know, we're from Wisconsin. We know these things. But growing up, little kid, thought it was funny. Anyway, this is a little tune called the Cherokee Shuffle. you so much. All right. Well, I guess we're going to close it up with a couple for you and head on down the road. But just got to say how nice it is, how civilized to play an afternoon concert up here. It's really lovely. Thank you so much for inviting us into your community, and it's just been really a joy to play for you. Thank you. Thank you. Keep it simple. So one day there's this guy walking down the street, and he sees a sign out front of a house that says, "Talking dog for sale." He's curious. He walks up to the house, and he sees this big old hound laying on the front porch. Oh, he's rightfully curious. He goes up to the dog and says, "So, tell me, what have you done with yourself these days?" The dog lifts his sleepy head and says, "Well, many years ago I lived in Switzerland, and I used to rescue avalanche victims, and after that I served my country in Iraq, and these days, mostly at the local library reading to small children and senior citizens." The guy is flabbergasted. And just then he hears the side door of the house slam and footsteps coming down the driveway, and he says, excuse me, sir, is this your dog?" The guy says, "Yeah." He says, "Why ever would you want to sell such a magnificent creature as this?" And the guy says, "'Cause he's a liar. He's never done any of that." So anyway. Ooh, that's very nice. But I'll tell you a truth. This song comes from two of the guys who used to be in a North Georgia string band called the Skillet Lickers. And they made this song a hit. So remember, if ever you're having a bad day, just go outside. No matter the weather, if it's rainy or sunny, dark, nature will set you right, make you feel better. It's called Get Out and Get Under the Moon. Any old night, any old time, when you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out, get under the moon. Any old night, any old time, when you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out, get under the moon. Look, look, look at the stars above, look, look, look at the sweetest love, oh boy, give me a night in June. How about November? Any old night, any old time, when you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flat, get out, get under the moon. And so the two guys that made that song popular were in this band, the Skillet Lickers. So picture, if you will, a Saturday night and a barn dance in North Georgia. This is one of their tunes called Rocky Palette. Thank you so much, Al. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Cheers and God bless. How does Pat do it?
I don't know.